Alright, so here's something interesting. Brainwaves. So I had heard that supposedly you can affect the brain using these frequencies, like low radio frequencies, right? And we have here delta, which is 0 to 4, is sleep, unconscious, and healing. So it's very low. Theta is like drowsiness. It's like a just maybe before you sleep, or like meditation and creativity. Alpha is more a relaxed, like focused state. So it's still kind of a lower one. And then beta is your active thinking, problem solving, mentally, kind of stimulated. And gamma is like the higher one, involved in sensory processing, memory, attention, like more difficult tasks, right? So these are the brainwaves. There's also like personality types. I'm sure we've all seen this. If you're a man, this is, they kind of joke that this is like astrology for men. You can see here, um, the alpha is dominating, charismatic, the leader. The beta is the kind of like the follower. The family guy. The husband, easy and modest. It says gamma is introverted. They're like the creativity people, spiritual people, the scientists. And the omega is, here we go. It's a self-sufficient person. I think they are. Delta, unable to get attention. That's a shame. And then finally Sigma, the one everyone probably thinks they are, and maybe they are. Maybe if you think you are, you are. I don't know. That's like the I don't. It's like a movie character. It's kind of like Alpha combined with Gamma almost. I don't know. Maybe. I guess a beta woman would be like a nice, relaxing to be around woman. An Alpha would be, very self-driven. Gamma would be the intelligent woman, probably. Omega, I guess, here we go, straightforward, interesting. Delta is introverted, and then Sigma is, I guess, a combination of, I don't know, some of these, I'm not really sure. In all of my wisdom, I had thought up the idea that oh wait, nope, here we go. Okay, there we go. Crap. If I focus it, there we go. I just screwed up. So here we have our brainwave list, right? 0 to 4. Let's go to 0 to 4. Okay, I'm at 0, and instantly I can feel my brain. You're just gonna have to trust me because I keep doing that. Instantly I can feel my brain relax. And here I've got the coil, and I've got an LC circuit. So it's essentially just a capacitor and a magnetic coil. The capacitor seems to get the mind going. The coil is more the body. We're more or less getting a... This one's hard to see as well. Here we go. Electric field and magnetic field, which is good. I'm pretty sure if I didn't have the capacitor, I just got a magnetic field. I'm not sure, but either way, you can tell that it's doing something. So if you needed that, okay. At the 0 frequency, it's really relaxing. And I could jump up to 2. You can see there, 2, 3. It kind of raises it a little bit, and then I go to 4. 4's like, see, okay, so 1 to like 3 is almost like I'm asleep, or yeah, like right now I'm like, and then we're going up to 4, and it's like, that's kind of like I'm like really drowsy or really tired, but I'm still kind of awake. It's like when you get relaxed in bed, and I go up to like maybe 6, and it's like, yeah, it's a little more awake. So the higher I pump it, the more awake I feel. And we'll go to 8, which is the start of alpha, and instantly it's like I'm taken into the center channel, the center of my brain. I'm like super focused. The best way to describe is that I feel like I'm like some hunter or something. Like I'm trying to hyper focus on something. It's very mental, and I'll go up to 9, and expands it. See, it almost, it's like a wave up and down. It's like raise the values, it goes up and down almost, or left to right, or like internal, external. Everything seems to contract and oscillate. My energy does, at least. Okay, 10. It kind of feels like higher, or actually it's more like the throat. Like I can feel my throat and the top of my head. So I guess people, you think the alpha male is very good, like is very good speaker, is very good presenter, is very focused. And then 11, and it's more like in the heart now. And we go to 12, and the more, when we get to the beta frequencies, I start to feel my guts, actually. So I'm more in my guts around here, and this is more, it's more relaxed. Like the alpha here, hang on, I'm on 13, right? So we go down to like 11, and it's more in the head, it's more icy, it's more like tense. And then I go to like 14, into the, beta frequencies, right? And you go up and up and up a little bit, and it's more relaxed. It's more like you're just trying to do your work, you're just trying to do things, you're just trying to like maybe relax after work, or it's a bit more, it's less hyper focused and more expanded out, more rounded, more kind of. And I guess the brain is producing these frequencies, and it affects the body. It's a bit like a cymatic pattern, right? If you've seen those like sound patterns, if you look up cymatic pattern or sound pattern, it affects sand, and the sand takes on a different shape. And I guess the brain is producing these frequencies depending on your state, right? Or you're influencing it to produce, I don't know, whatever you want to think, right? And then it affects the body, and the body also affects the brain. It's like everything's a feedback loop. It's like the LC circuit. It's going boosh, doosh, 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 back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, right? That's the body, that's the brain. The brain is the capacitor, the body is the magnetic field storer, right? So this is the beta frequencies are very magnetic field-esque, but it's like alert. It's not like the delta was super, delta's the first one. It was super low. It was like blah, like absolutely just zonked out, right? And theta was a little bit like kind of dream state, imagination, very, very like pretty tired, but pretty, maybe like the end of the day when you're just kind of like sitting there like watching something, completely zonked out. Again, alpha was alert, is kind of like very focused, very just like icy, almost sharp. Beta's like smooth, subtle, kind of relaxed, just like what you would need to talk to people. You maybe got a social job, or maybe you're doing some kind of work, but it's not like hyper focus. And then gamma, finally we go to that, and there's the lower bands of gamma. Oops, I opened it too much. Okay, so we get the 31, and instantly as I get to about 30, it gets me into my head, and it's not like the alpha where it's in your head. It's like it's not super sharp, it's not super focused. It's more like a little bit more of an expansive. It's a bit like people who talk quick, who think a lot, who are just like super creative, but not like theta creative, or like that's more like imaginative, or like what would you think, divination, and all that kind of stuff, like visions. This is what people who are like Tesla, I guess you think, Tesla, Newton, at least like the genius frequency, so to speak. It's people who are super smart, and I'll go up to like 40. Yeah, as I said, it feels like as I go up and down, it feels like a wave in my body. This one's a bit more relaxed. It's a bit more in the throat. It's more like I'm taking in reality. If we go up to 50, it's very deep. It feels very deep in the body almost. It's very much more like more quiet. 60. Again, it's like, I don't know. It feels like one of those like a falling tone. It's like constantly just falling. That's kind of how I feel right now. Let's see. It's still really It's still really like mentally stimulating. I'll go up to 7. Oops, 70. I feel if it's like maybe being on a high mountain or something. It's like the air is really clean. Here at 70, the air is really clean, and I'm pretty focused, but it's not like the cold alpha focus. It's more like I have a blank canvas and I'm able to do what I want, you know. So anyway, I'll go up to 100, just see what that 100 is. I don't know, for some reason the gamma frequencies seem to get me deeper in the spine. Now that I think about it, see, this is weird because it seems like I'm at my tailbone. So you would think that, as I said, the beta was like the guts, right? The alpha, so that's the guts. The gamma, for some reason, seems to almost get me into, like, here I'll draw like the tailbone, the spine, right? It's like the beta is like, actually that's more higher up, right? It's like from here to here, right? So this is like the belly button and the guts. The gamma is almost like down into the spine, but the alpha was like let me see if I can have to compensate a little anatomically. Whatever, it was almost like throat and like and definitely eyes. Yeah, it was like super like focused, right? And like throat. What was the heart? I don't know. It was maybe is low beta. I could test it out again, right? But then is like theta and delta the really high region, because you would think the opposite. I would have thought the opposite, right? As in delta would be in the tailbone, because that's like the lowest, you know, that's the most leaden, you know, the most dull lead state, right? But I don't know. And then gamma is the most manifest somehow. It's the most physical. But let me here. I'll go down again on the frequency bands. I'll go down to 1. So 1. It's like, ooh. Okay. So I can also feel. Actually, okay. This is a weird thing. It seems to magnetize. No, I get it. I kind of get it now. Okay. When you sleep, when you fall asleep, usually you put the tongue on the roof. This is the tongue, right? So it's the teeth. This is like a side view, right? You put the tongue and also the back of the tongue on the back of the roof of the mouth, right? And the teeth usually close. And what happens is that it sends the energy up, because the draw a head, right? Eyebrows, eyes, is that the mouth is you can open and close a circuit. If you close the circuit, the energy goes up to the brain, right? And you don't always want to be doing this, because then your energy is always going up to the brain. And what happens when you need the energy in lower regions, right? Not good. So that's why you don't want to always do it. And because of that, it almost, like, I can kind of feel the tailbone, but I can also feel the crown. So it's like it's being sucked up there, and because of that, it's producing a lot of relaxation. I guess it's like draining this is Kundalini, actually. This is what we have with Kundalini, is that it drains the reservoir, the genital reservoir, and it goes up to the top of the brain. It's the Jing to Qi, which is heart blood. Jing is like seed, to Shen, right, which is cerebrospinal fluid. And then if I go down frequency, if I go up to 4, yeah, I can kind of feel it around here then, in like the it's not quite the senses like the alpha, like that's, you know, the more the eyes and the throat, but I can feel it. Yeah, interesting. And you can also feel it in the corresponding area, because like everything mirrors one another. This kind of area that kind of mirrors like almost the genital region. If we go up to 8, it's almost like yeah, I don't know. It's like now it's more into the kind of around here, I guess. Excuse me, around like here, I think. And 10, yeah, because 10 brings you more to the throat. Definitely 11 hertz is like right in the throat. That's why I can feel that, right? So then if I go to 13 and 14, okay, 13, 14 is kind of around the heart. And then 16 is almost like upper solar plexus. And around 20 is like the upper belly. So it's like 20. I think I put that as like 16. I think I had that as like 11. This is like 0. I guess 4. I don't know. Like, so just have like 8. And then 25 is kind of like the lower belly. Once you start getting to 30 is like the bladder region almost. And 35's like kind of getting to the genitals. 40's like the pubic region almost, I would say. 40 is 50s, so I kind of feel that in the kidneys. Yeah, 50 is almost like the genital region, right? And 60 is maybe like 65-ish is like the perineal region. And it just keeps going. And then like the higher up you go, like 70 starting to get into the root and the bowel region, which is sort of like 80. 80 is like the bowel, right? So, and it's, so that's interesting. I guess when you think about it, all these like genius people are obsessed with material reality. When you think about it, yeah, they're very smart per se, but they're obsessed with reality. They're obsessed with understanding their natural environment. Because I mean, what are these people known for? They're known for understanding the world, right? And then, you know, what are alpha people known for? They're known for being they're the speakers, you know, they are they're very focused and very, you know, like do they get shit done? I don't know. And then beta people, again, it's like family and community almost, which is like heart and belly, you know. Heart and belly is a restaurant, is a bar. These places are, I guess, beta locations, right? So, and then, you know, theta and delta people, I guess, are like, I don't know, maybe that's people who are stuck in like mental retardation, or very highly psychic people, very like dreamy, detached people. These people, I guess, technically wouldn't be very grounded or manifested, or, you know, it's a bit like the alpha person doesn't really engage a whole lot with things, you know. The gamma is engaging with material, like
they have to understand the physics and laws of reality, right? But the alpha person just directs, they just says, they say, they envision, they just say, I want it to look like this, I want it to be like this, I imagine, I saw this thing, I thought this thing up, I wanted it to be like this, right? Well, the beta person's like, maybe I feel this way, or I communicated it and I kind of had this discussion with someone and we came to this agreement. And the gamma person's like, I know the physics of the universe. I make this weird invention and I figure out this weird spiritual science nonsense. I don't know. I don't think we should get locked into one idea. Of course, maybe we should be all open to have different ideas. What I mean is we have an entire body and we have an entire spinal cord. So, of course, we're going to gravitate towards one of these, or multiple even. But, reality is yours to make. It's kind of plastic in a way. You can be whatever one you want, I guess, as long as you understand the physics of how things work. And the theta and the delta people are probably just like sitting there eating chips. The delta person's just like zonked out in their own world. I don't know, something like that, right? Or maybe they're just like emotional support, right? I don't know. They're something like that. I'll just leave it at that. You'll probably get the idea, right? So, I don't know, go make one of these yourself and test it out, because they're really cheap and really easy to make. If you have any questions, ask it in the comments and I'll try to help you out as best I can. Otherwise, check out the other video, because I'm probably going to put this in 2 parts. The first video tells you how to make it, how it works and all that stuff, and second video is, Here we go. So this is like the best image I could find for looking at robot waifu. Whatever, we'll roll with it, right? So point being, firstly, is that nicotine, cigarettes, seem to put you into the alpha state. This is the best way I can put it. It's like that, it raises the energy up and it kind of puts you in the throat, and the senses make you hyper focus, right? It's very interesting. I guess that's why a lot of workmen and such, they smoke a lot. Business and like going on. The next thing is that I'm pretty sure this is the precursor to robot emotions, hence why we have these nice the AI generated robot waifu pictures, right? Because essentially this is because we're stimulating firstly the brainwaves, which was low frequency band waves, and then the actual body, which was the a little bit higher, but there's got to be a specific number value range. Maybe it's like the megahertz, or I don't know, some kind of hertz range that specifically stimulates emotions within people. And also, if you have emotions, they stimulate the virtual heart, or the mechanical heart, which I'm pretty sure is that it's an antenna, right? So an electromagnetic receiver or antenna, which was our LC circuit. This is just inductor or coil and capacitor, and I think that's just showing the direction, right? So I at least hypothesize the storing of or receiving and storing of electrostatic and receiving and storing of magnetic, like these are the 2 energies. This is electrostatic, this is magnetic, right? So somewhere that's kind of almost a full band receiving. I'm not an antennas guy, but kind of assuming you are receiving emotions, which are radio waves, and called radio waves. It's like, maybe not radio waves, but I think there's been experiments where they use radio waves, or they could receive radio waves from people's emotions. The point being is, I'm pretty sure we can stimulate and we can send and receive emotions, and you can build a metallic or semi-metallic receiver of these, and receiver and sender, and it would just be probably using all things we already have, which would just be a regular TV antenna or something like that, but just maybe modifying it slightly. So what all this means is that we can eventually have mechanical robot waifus that can feel and send emotions for whatever reasons.